No, we're in this building. That's
Right.
the parking structure. We're in this building.
Right.
You guys are in this parking structure. So we're in this building right here, right now. This is the 5. I'll show you more detail when we go up. But there's 5 buildings. This is the pool area. Like I said, it's going to be residential above commercial.
And how long is it?
When is it going to be? They're supposed to top out, build out August 2021. So we got another. But that's top out on that side, right?
On that side.
And then they're going to develop this side eventually.
Are they calling it phases? Are they
Yes,
saying
this is
phase?
phase 2.
Phase 2. How many total phases?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay.
This
So
side,
1
that
and
side.
then okay.
And then what is this? That's the existing building. You don't leave it alone.
Oh, okay.
Build around it. Build around it. So this is you got sign in office space that they're building. So right now this is just slabs.
And this is just phase 1. You're still going over here.
Yeah, but that ain't. You don't even see that right now.
Right.
Right now that's parking lot. Downstairs it was building. It showed buildings. Here is just
Wow.
and we're here.
It's pretty good. West. Okay.
So whenever you come in that way. That way you could just.
Next time we'll come to this one here because we went to this one here.
Right.
Yeah, we'll
And
come to
then-
this
and
one.
Then what I was trying to get y'all to do was go here and turn here and come in.
Oh, okay. You see that, Sean? Next time he wants to come around here.
Yeah.
And come in here.
Oh.
We're over here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So basically, what's happening is, right now, this is what we're doing. Right now is either we're gonna set aside a building for the community, for Pasadena residents, Pasadena contractors, or we're going to set out 30% from each building.
30% from each building.
30% from each building, 30% of contracting from each building.
30% from each building.
Starting from foundation. Anyway, I'm at Morley Builders here at a site in Pasadena, California. And I'm trying to video as much as I can of this information. This is valuable, but it's a lot of corporate here, so I can't get everything. We're in a conference room, trying to figure this thing out and, just meeting other minds. This is a very informal meeting leading to a formal meeting. This project is valued at $225 million right now. It's expected to be completed, I think, August of 2021, which is a stretch to be completed. That's a lot of fast moving parts going on. But the biggest part about this project that we fit in on is that they have to do 30% local hiring. We just became a local contractor, but we have the experience in hiring the local hires that's needed for this project because we're in the inner community. We're in the inner community in Los Angeles. So that's the great part about it. Let me go ahead and finish this meeting and
Right now,
I'm going
what
to
I'm
let you
doing
know
is-
more about it. So this is the project here that we just met on here. We're getting ready to start framing here.
See where they started framing that over there?
Oh, yeah.
They started that wasn't there much. Started framing. Oh, over there. No, right here. See, right there. It wasn't here much.
Yeah, they already started framing here.
And see, here is going to be commercial. They're going to frame up from here. The buildings in the middle that don't have that.
Oh, yeah.
Here is
This is the
gonna be
project. This next project we're going to be on here. Next one here.
All right, gentlemen. It's a pleasure, man.
Hey, what's up, my construction entrepreneurs? So, I had that meeting in Pasadena. I tried to record as much. That guy that I had on video was the guy that actually used to work for me in Madrid in the apartments, right? Remember, that was the older gentleman that I celebrated his birthday at the apartments? That was him, right? His name is Ron. So he got a job, right? I fired him, and then he kind of flew the coop. He has his contractor's license, and I also did a video on a project he wanted me to do for him, some concrete work, and I was kind of hesitant on it, and he still wants me to do it, right? It's still not done. So we may do. I may send some guys over there, kind of blow that thing out. One is 1 day job, another one is a 2 day job. I don't know. But anyway, so he gets a job for one of the largest project in Pasadena. It's $225 million project. It's going to have retail space at the bottom and apartment living on top, like you normally see in these, upcoming new developments all over the states, So basically, he's in charge of the local hiring. So what happened is that the city of Pasadena and most times the city of LA as well require contractors on large projects to commit to a 30% local hiring and sometimes a minority a small business local hire as well. So I think there's not a minority on this one, but there's I think 20% local contractor hiring, a 30% local labor hiring, and a 20% local material like supplier buying. The general contractor. So the two general contractors on that project is Morley Builders and oh my gosh, what's the other one there? I forget the other ones, but the other ones are owned by Morley Builders. Morley Builders is a union shop, and the other company there, which Morley Builders own, is a non-union shop. So this job is non-union, but there are some union outfits on there. For instance, Morley Builders is a union contractor that's doing the concrete. They're a concrete contractor. They're huge. They're doing all the concrete in-house as far as the foundations and the parking, the subterranean parking structures, and the first level up. They're doing it themselves. You see, they already started framing. So basically, the city is putting pressure on the owner, which is putting pressure on the contractor. So what happens in these situations is that they're rocking and rolling on that project. I didn't bid on any other work when that work came up. So basically, they have to carve out 30% for a local contractor somewhere. And that's the tough part is getting that contractor to carve that out. Now, the way the city puts pressure on that contractor, because the contractor originally signed up that they were going to commit to this, is they're obligated to do it. But how the city put pressure on them, once you mess with the city and city councilmen gets involved, they make it harder for you to do that next phase. Okay, they make it harder for you to move forward or move as fast as you can for that next phase. So it's in the best interest of the contractor to set aside small portions of work for local contractors to get a piece of this, right? Now, what type of work is that? Okay, it might be like Ryan was saying, it might be a whole building that gets dedicated to the 30% allocation that they're expecting, right? So if you get a whole building, then you got all those trades involved in that whole building. Now this is the next tricky thing is whether it's a whole building or 30% of each building, or however they decide to do it, or maybe it's drywall throughout, whatever it is. The hardest thing for the labor compliance guy, or the 30% labor compliance guy, is finding competent contractors to complete that work that's set aside. That's the hardest thing. Now, the hardest thing for the contractors that come on board, depending on how small they are, like us, is the financial stability, right? Is how long. We don't want to be holding out for 90 days like we are a Morley Build. We don't want to pay when paid. So they got a thing now, not now, it's always been around, but it's widely enforced in new contracts now here in California. It's pay when paid. So basically these cities require these GCs to go out and hire minority, small business, local business, but these GCs put in a contract that pay when paid. So here you are, you're on a project and you don't get paid until the GC gets paid, which you can stretch out to 120 days. So what happens is it puts us as small contractors in a very tight position to where we just financially can't sustain that long term of not getting paid. So my whole deal is having a seat at the table, accepting this work and having that seat at the table to understand how they need to carve this work out for small and local contractors as myself, until I can get to a big contractor and I start setting the rules my damn self. You know, that's the goal, you know, bring in other true local contractors and really give them a shot at this whole thing. So I just wanted to share that with you because it is a big thing, and you could be going through something like this in your construction entrepreneur journey. You know, we're going to see come next week. I think they're supposed to be releasing scopes of work, and then we're going to have to present. So that guy Ron and there's another fellow, they're going to get us to sit in front of the owners or the owners/general contractors, and we're going to have to sell ourselves after that we're capable, we're competent enough to do the job set forth in front of us. So one, you got to be careful not to chew off more than you can eat, and two, you got to understand what you're capable of doing, right? And three, you got to present yourself in a good light to get a shot at this, you know. So we can do $1 million easily of drywall, $1 million of stuff framing, you know, easily, and on projects like this. And what happens is that they give you a little bit, and then once they see that you're performing, quickly they'll see that you're performing, and then they'll just literally hand you stuff. So so we're getting prepared for it, creating some presentations and PowerPoints if necessary, so we can present ourselves in the right light to be able to get this opportunity. So that's what we got working on, and I'll be showing you more projects like this with the city of LA and some other key cities and key counties around here. So stay tuned, keep watching, and you're gonna see it. So my construction entrepreneurs, I'm headed to Downey right now in the heart of traffic. Supposed to get there at 4. Now I'm headed to Downey to go talk to the owner that's supposed to be cutting me that check for 75%. And I think there's some little snags here that I'm gonna have to sit down and talk to him about. So I'll let you guys know what happens, and you know, this thing is not over until that check is in my bank account. So hustle hard, then hustle harder. Catch you on the next one.